With Super Bowl 54 less than 2 months away, Attorney General Ashley Moody says Florida will not tolerate human trafficking.
Tony Velasquez Jr. live tonight in Delray Beach with the latest on this. Tony?
Todd, that woman was sitting right here around midnight when a stray bullet fell from the sky and went right through the top of her knee. Fentanyl, 100 times more potent than morphine, is being mixed with everything from marijuana to ecstasy. And it's a problem that's found its way here to Martin County. When you walk onto an elevator, you're probably not thinking about when the last time it was inspected. But what our investigation uncovered is out of more than 12,000 permits in Orange County alone.
Our Tony Velasquez Jr. is live tonight from the Gulfstream Park Racetrack and Casino with more on the improving conditions. Tony?
This morning, several racehorses had to be evacuated from Gulfstream Race Park. This is the book, Little and Lion, and it has parents here at Palm Beach Central High School at odds with the district.
Tony Velasquez Jr. talked with a few of the lifeguards about their out-of-the-box plan.
We're in beautiful Vero Beach, and lifeguards like Ellis here have to brave the elements outside. But what they're hoping to do is turn this 30-year-old lifeguard stand into a command center. And how are they going to do that? Well, hopefully with the help of Ellen. Take a look behind me. That's the picture of a city in crisis. At least 8 to 10 tents back there line the streets in full view of authorities. Brightline has the highest death rate in the United States per mile. What may come as a surprise, though, is 75% of those deaths are due to suicide.
Tony Velasquez Jr. is live for us at the scene with the breaking details. Tony?
Workers are back to work right now after one of their own was pinned beneath a 200-pound wall. The wall I'm standing next to is what Border Patrol calls their primary wall. It's essentially leftover material from the Vietnam era. But the coyotes I spoke to said they're not concerned with this wall. Iranian Americans here in West Palm Beach have growing concerns about the airstrike that killed General Qasem Soleimani and have mixed emotions about the growing tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Their new shot spotter technology is going to be put to the test tonight on New Year's Eve.
Our Tony Velasquez Jr. is live in West Palm Beach with the latest from the president.
President Trump's still on holiday here in Palm Beach. Spent most of the day at Trump International Golf Club. But back in D.C., surveillance video can be crucial in solving crimes. And now Ring, owned by Amazon, has partnered with more than 500 police agencies across the country. A woman was sitting right here in Delray Beach when around midnight, a stray bullet is behind bars accused of using Instagram and Snapchat to try and lure children he was mentoring for sex. She saw a woman in distress waving her arms trying to flag her down. FHP says she was in the right place at the right time. It started off as a car break-in and ended right here with that 16-year-old pointing a gun at a deputy. Sandy, weighing in at 700 tons and 35 feet tall, was vandalized early Thursday morning. Horses weren't the only thing impacted by the floodwaters this morning. We talked to several employees who came to find their cars were flooded out. 74-year-old Roy Robinson of Lake Worth credits an Apple Watch just like this for saving his life. When birds first started popping up in major metropolitan cities across the country. But fast forward to 2019, and these guys have been blamed for more than 1,500 visits to the emergency room. 16-year-old Tarnesia Carter was fatally shot walking on the sidewalk across the street from this Boys and Girls Club. We're at 550 North Quadrille Boulevard, and I have with me Battalion Chief Collazo, and he's going to walk us through what we saw. What happened up there?
Well, at approximately 2:40 in the afternoon, we were dispatched to a fall with a possible partial wall collapse.
This tracking device called the Tile helped a victim of theft and fraud give West Palm Beach police a big head start in catching the bad guys. Palm Springs police responded to the Bank of America you see behind me here on South Military Trail for reports of a gunshot. If the 3 new dispensaries right here in downtown West Palm Beach are any indication, it's in high demand. And because of this book, it has Nicholas and his wife Melissa weighing all of their options, including homeschooling. The residents in this Bay City community tell me they're done. Done replacing trash cans that are being ruined by the city, especially when these guys go for $100 a pop. It looked like he was conscious and awake. Is that what you understand?
That is correct.
Look a little deeper, and what seems like the signs of a healthy and vibrant downtown is quite the opposite. With rent more than tripling in just the past 6 months, nearly 16,000 people are expected to leave America's finest city by 2020. What we know is that around 3:30 last night, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office responded to an armed robbery right here. And just 1 block from here, West Palm Beach police themselves are getting ready.
Tony, what do you know right now?
Well, Mark, what we know right now is around 5 a.m. a cleanup crew was doing some beach grading along the beach when they found a woman unresponsive in the surf. Now, I talked to residents on both sides of the issue, and they expect Tuesday night's meeting at 7 p.m. to be jam-packed. This art installation featuring 2 handguns with the words "Bang Bang You're Dead" went up less than 2 months ago, prompting many in this community to take to Facebook, calling it disgusting and inappropriate. And without context, you can certainly come to that same conclusion. Ready? One more time. There we go. And boom, you nailed it, Serafina, you nailed it.
Tony, you got some moves out there.
That little girl was cute, wasn't
That
she?
was so adorable.
In West Palm Beach, Tony Velasquez Jr., WPBF 25 News.
Tony Velasquez Jr. live tonight in Delray Beach with the latest on this. Tony?
It felt like something heavy hit you, but you don't see anything. There was nothing on the ground when you look around. So what phantom thing just hit me?
Diane, a teacher from Jamaica, was visiting her sister who lives here in Delray Beach. They headed into downtown to ring in the new year.
We enjoyed the food, do all sorts of stuff until midnight because we wanted to see fireworks if there were any. We wanted to be a part of the whole ringing in the new year.
They chose Delray Beach because of its reputation for being family friendly and because they were bringing her niece's baby along.
At midnight, we were all hugging. Our baby was between mom's leg, and we were hugging and Happy New Year, kiss, kiss, kiss.
That's when it happened.
And when I was like this, just as I am now, I felt like something hit me, like somebody took something heavy and just hit me.
But being shot was the last thing on her mind. Just seconds earlier, she was holding a baby between her legs and says the bullet could have hit her.
She could have been hit easily. And my daughter before that was sitting right here.
It wasn't until she was in the ambulance that she'd learned what happened.
And on my way now to the hospital, I said to the cop, because she was taking notes, I said to her, "What do you think happened?" And she says, "You picked up a shot."
She said what?
I picked up a shot. I got hit by a bullet.
And Diane's message to whoever's responsible?
Is your fun worth the pain you're going to put somebody else in? You change their lives completely. Is it worth it?
Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. This is the first time detectives say they've seen fentanyl added to recreational drugs in this part of Florida.
As Tony Velasquez Jr. reports, they fear this is just the beginning of a trend.
Fentanyl, 100 times more potent than morphine, is being mixed with everything from marijuana to ecstasy. And it's a problem that's found its way here to Martin County.
And it's not just in one drug, it's all drugs now. It's the caution that we have to have. Now they have pill presses and they're mixing the fentanyl in when you think you're buying a prescription pill from a street level dealer, and it's fentanyl.
And with fentanyl affecting everyone from soccer moms to college students, the Martin County Sheriff's Office wants to send a clear message.
It's not somebody else's problem, it's all of our problem. It's not just with adults, it's in schools. We're seeing it everywhere, from the poor neighborhoods to the richest neighborhoods.
In fact, just last weekend, 2 college-age women from Stewart were rushed to the emergency room for overdoses. Toxicology reports confirmed the most recent overdose was connected to fentanyl-tainted drugs at the party she had attended. It's the first time this detective has seen the addition of fentanyl to recreational drugs in this part of Florida.
We've never seen anything like with the likes of that, especially even though it sounds like a small amount, it's a big amount. Do a lot of damage.
And as the powerful and deadly fentanyl is showing up across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, it's being blamed for a new rise in overdoses and deaths.
Our overdose numbers are up this year. We've seen 141 total overdoses, and that's including opioids, synthetics, and everything else like that. A number of overdoses we've seen is 69 related to fentanyl.
And it's not easy to just arrest the dealers.
Arresting our way out of this problem is not going to fix it. It's still going to be around, and it's sad to say, but I feel like it's going to continue to grow over the next couple of years. It's deadly. And it doesn't have a name. It's not assigned to anybody. It can happen to anyone.
And as Sheriff Snyder reminded me, anytime you buy anything from a drug dealer, you're playing Russian roulette. In Stewart, Tony Velasquez Jr., WPBF 25 News.
The watch was alerting him to a serious health condition. Tony Velasquez Jr. talked to him about his new appreciation for the technology.
I rested and didn't think anything of it. And later that afternoon, the watch started beeping, probably about once an hour, once every 2 hours, saying that you're in AFib. And I had no idea what AFib was.
And so when you searched Google, did it scare the heck out of you?
Yes.
Was some of it true?
I would use a different word, but yes.
Roy's wife Dale knew something was off when they visited their granddaughter at school.
To show us her classroom, so he went up to the 3rd floor, out of breath when he got there, which is very unlike him. His watch went off, his Apple Watch went off and said, "You're an AFib."
He took me up 3 flights of stairs to her classroom to see where she goes to school, and I was totally out of breath by the time I got up there, which is unusual for me because I'm fairly fit. Finally, it started going off when I was just lying on the couch watching television and having dinner. So at that point, we got serious about it.
And what's the first thing Roy did when the 6th alert went off?
First thing we did was finish our Thanksgiving dinner. We got to get our priorities right.
That's right.
And after dinner, my son said, "You're going to the hospital."
And then they rushed Roy to Johns Hopkins.
And we showed up at the hospital, and they said, "Why are you here?" I says, "My watch says that." And they said, "You what?" And he says, "My watch says that I'm an AFib." And so he hooks me up to the electrocardiogram. And after about 30 seconds of looking at the electrocardiogram, says, "We're admitting you." So I had a parade of doctors and interns and residents and nurses. And, you know, half of them came in and said, "We want to see the guy that was saved by the Apple Watch." I think I was a mini celebrity in the hospital.
I think it saved his life.
I'm not sure if it saved my life, but it sure as hell helped.
And the best part of the story, Apple CEO Tim Cook emailed Roy back congratulating him. Tony Velasquez Jr., WPBF 25 News.
Tony Velasquez Jr. is there right now with a live report on the daring and dangerous rescue of the injured man. Tony?
West Palm Beach Fire's technical team had to perform a very risky rescue today after a construction worker was pinned beneath a 200-pound wall on the 13th floor.
This is the reason we have a technical rescue team. Evaluated the situation, we found that we had one patient on the 13th floor. We were able to coordinate our efforts with the construction site, with the crane operator. We were able to stabilize the patient, package him, and lower him to the ground safely, and at this time he is en route to St. Mary's.
But the chief tells me it wasn't just the location of the rescue his crew had to contend with. With wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour today, that was one more obstacle they had to overcome.
Winds are a certain speed down here, and they're much higher up top, so that becomes a hazard with the fire, the electrical lines, the construction site itself, and obviously keeping our rescuer and the patient safe.
So our message is simple. If you see something suspicious, don't be afraid to say something. You may just save a victim. Coming up at 6 tonight, we'll tell you about where that unlikely tip came from that led police to Cleveland, Tennessee, and ultimately the capture of an attempted murderer. After a 2-month run, this art installation will come down on January 24th, where it will be moved to downtown West Palm Beach and be the centerpiece of the 2020 Art Vision Awards. Now, since it's over $1,000 worth of damage, it is a felony. So if you recognize any of the people in those pictures, please give West Palm Beach Police a call.